Good morning, children. So, today we will be starting with the last chapter of this group of Indian economics, that is liberalization, privatization, and globalization, that is the LPG model. So, so we will be starting with the reasons why this model was adopted. Since independence, India followed the mixed economic system by combining the advantages of the market economic system, that is a capitalist economy, and the advantages of the socialist economy. So we all have studied in the previous chapter that since independence, India was following a mixed economic structure, but in reality, the public sector dominated the control and regulation of our economy, and private sector was ignored. There was a huge investment in the public sector and very low investment in the private sector. So we have already studied in the 5-year plans, in the planning chapter, that the public sector was dominating the private sector and huge investment was done on the public sector. The dominance of the public sector for about 4 decades led to the establishment of various rules and laws which hampered the process of growth and development. So we also studied in the planning chapter that these public sector enterprises were suffering from losses. Huge investment was made on them, but the private sector, not much investment was done. So all these developed such rules and regulations which hampered the process of growth and development of the economy. Now, what were the reasons for? Now we will come to the point-wise reasons for the for these reforms. First is poor performance of the public sector. In the 40 years period 1951 to 1990, public sector was assigned an important role to work for the economic development of India. However, except for few public enterprises, the overall performance was very disappointing. Considering the huge losses incurred by a good number of public sector enterprises, the government recognized the need for making necessary reforms. So during the period from 1950 to 1990, the government sector or the public sector enterprises suffered huge losses. And thus the government recognized that yes, now they have to bring about such reforms which will help the economy to grow. Now, deficit in the BOP. Deficit in BOP arises when foreign payments for imports exceed exports. Obviously, we have studied in the BOP chapter, when imports exceeds exports, there is deficit. Means we run short of foreign currency. Even after imposing heavy tariffs and fixing quotas, there was a sharp rise on imports. Like we studied there in the planning chapter, in case of the industrial and the trade policy, that there was import substitution, means taxes were imposed on the imports as well as quotas were given. That means you cannot import beyond that limit. So even after taking so many measures, there was a sharp rise in the imports. On the other hand, there was slow growth of exports due to low quality and high prices of Indian goods in the international markets. So in spite of these measures, imports increased. Exports, there was a slow growth rate of the exports due to low quality and high prices of the Indian goods in the international market. So exports were also discouraged due to the low quality and high price of the goods. Inflationary pressures. There was a consistent rise in general price level in the economy due to increase in money supply and shortage of essential goods. So there was inflationary pressure, means the prices were continuously rising. There was a general rise in the price level. Why? Due to increase in the money supply. Fall in foreign exchange reserve. In 1991, foreign exchange reserves fell to the lowest level and it led to the foreign exchange crisis in the country. Foreign exchange reserve declined to a level that was not adequate to finance imports for more than 2 weeks and to pay the interest that needs to be a part to international leaders. So, in 1991, foreign exchange reserves fell down. There was a exchange crisis in the country. Now, foreign exchange reserve declined to a level that was not adequate to finance imports and to pay the interest to the international leaders. Means interest on loans. Now, huge burden of debts. The expenditure of the government was much higher than revenue. So the government was spending much than its revenue. As a result, government had to borrow money from banks, public, and from international financial institution. International financial institution means World Bank and IMF. So next is inefficient management. The origin of the financial crisis can be traced from the inefficient management of the Indian economy. The government was not able to generate sufficient revenue. Government expenditure began to exceed its revenue. At times, the foreign exchange borrowed from other countries and international financial institution was spent on meeting consumption needs. So, the financial crisis was traced from the inefficiency of the management of the economy. Government did not have sufficient revenue, okay, as it was unable to generate revenue from internal sources like taxes and all. Expenditure was high of the government, that we started earlier in the point, that expenditure was higher than the revenue, and thus the government had to borrow money from banks, public and international agencies. So at times, the foreign exchange borrowed from other countries and international financial institutions was spent on meeting consumption needs. So overall, you can see that loss-making publicity enterprises, deficit in the BOP, means we are falling short of foreign currency, inflationary pressure means high supply of money, demand was high and supply of goods was less, so the price level was increasing. Foreign exchange reserves, high burden of debts and inefficiency in management. So the country, though the publicity enterprises, a huge investment was done, but still the economy was not growing. Okay, the government was running under debts. So this was a few reasons that the policies were needed. Okay.